Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to the Adam Evelyn podcast, the podcast all about personal development, working on yourself and trying to become the best possible version of yourself. So this week, that's definitely been something that I've been trying to do. So this podcast, you'll probably seen the title, and if you follow me on social media, I've spoke a bit about it on that. But I've been giving up an addiction, something that's not been easy at all. So I thought I'd share a little bit about that and talk about how I'm finding it and what I'm doing to help me through that. And then also I want to talk about a little bit about my goals, because I've been working on something over the past few months and I thought it'd be really good for the podcast, for my YouTube, to share the journey of that, because it's something that I'm really excited about. It's something that I've been putting a lot of effort into it, and I'm really excited to get it up and running. Like I say, I want to kind of share the journey of it, because like I say, this podcast is all about becoming the best possible version of yourself, pushing, working hard, like doing things that you want to do, and I want to sort of share a little bit of what I've been on with recently. So I'll get into that in a minute. So you'll have seen the title, Giving Up an Addiction. It's not been easy. It's been easier than I thought. So if you've not seen on social media, if you don't follow me, I've given up my vaping addiction. So it's something that I've been doing for the last 9 years. Since I was around 19, I'm 28 now, just turned 28 in January, and I've probably been really hard vaping for the past 5 or 6 years maybe, and the last year or so I've really come to terms with the fact that I've been addicted, and I do not like the fact it has had a grip over me and I have no control over it and I'm addicted to it. I always want to I always promote health and fitness and all these kind of things, and the one thing that I've always done is vaped, and I've always told myself a lie, limiting beliefs, which I've spoke about before. I've told myself that it's better than smoking, like everyone's got the vices, this is my vice, I stay fit, I stay healthy, all I do is vape, it's not going to harm me that much. And I've just come to terms with the fact that if I don't do it now, when am I ever going to do it? So on Monday, I decided to quit and completely stop, go cold turkey, and the last few days have been hard. I think I'm on day 6 now, which I would, last week, if you'd have told me I'd have gone 24 hours without vaping, I could have never believed it, because I was addicted. If I didn't have it on me, I'd be constantly looking for it, I'd constantly be vaping. So the last 6 days have been hard, but here are some of the things that I've been doing to try and help. So number one, just trying to stay as busy as possible, just trying to fill my time, because vaping goes hand in hand with boredom, or especially with me, because I coach people online. I sit at my laptop all the time. I can just sit at home up in my office and have the vape right next to me, and there's no sort of like buffer between that. Obviously now that we have Bo here, like I have to go outside, so that I did have to go outside, so that was kind of helping me cut down a lot. But if vaping, it's not like smoking, you don't have to go outside, or it doesn't really cost a lot, you don't need to keep going to the shop to buy cigarettes. Like it's a lot easier to do, which is why it can become such an addiction, and which is why it's been hard to stop. So number one, trying to keep as busy as possible. Number two, one of the things that's really, really helping me is just being outside in the fresh air. When I'm outside in the fresh air, breathing oxygen, I don't feel like I need a vape. I don't get the craving. So I've been taking River on really long walks, and I've been feeling really, really good for it as well. Wake up in the morning, obviously see to Bo, and then I'll take River out on a good hour walk, and it just feels good to be outside. And I keep sort of reminding myself why I'm doing this. Like my reason why has helped massively. So number 3 is having a big reason why behind it. I've kind of linked it to, I've really thought about it the past week or so, and we don't know the true ramifications of what vaping might cause in the future. Like, it's relatively a new thing, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I might have a disease in the future from doing something that's stupid and that I need to cut out. So I've linked it to, obviously I want to see Bo grow happy, grow old. I want to walk her down the aisle, and it's just a chance that I don't need to take. I've also linked it to like all my goals, like which I'm going to come on to in a minute. Like I really want to knuckle down and become the best possible version of myself this year in 2023, and that's a constant work in progress. You're never going to be the best possible version, but this is something that I needed to do, and hopefully by talking about this, we all kind of have addictions. I know probably the last couple of years I've also been a little bit addicted to the Xbox as well, which in 2023 I've massively cut down on as well. I've barely played, but that's because I'm launching something. I'm putting 16-hour days in a lot of the time to try and get this up and running, because I want to make sure it's perfect. Like I say, I'll come on to that in a minute. So yeah, another thing that I've been doing, which has really been helping, is taking cold showers. If I feel like I get the urge for a vape, sometimes you get this uncontrollable urge where usually you just turn to it straight away. You haven't got that anymore, so I need to turn to something else. So I've been taking more cold showers, which definitely helps. It kind of just freezes the addiction and just makes you feel good in general, and you don't really crave anything. Another thing I've been doing, which I wouldn't recommend, but it's helping me, I've been eating so much, like ridiculous amounts of food. Been eating sweets, like I've been having pistachio nuts. I've actually just bought some Fox's Glacier sweets, which I've not had for years, but just something to suck on if I feel the need to vape. Just having something where I can like just turn to it instead of the vape. That's massively helped as well. But also talking about it, and it's like just telling people and just putting it out on my social media and holding myself accountable has massively helped as well. What are the benefits that I've felt so far? So one of the things that I kind of felt, especially when I was really properly vaping, I always felt a little bit dehydrated. It didn't matter how much water I'd drink. When I'd wake up in the morning, a slight bit of a headache, and I'd feel a little bit dehydrated. And to be honest, that's pretty much gone now, and I feel a lot better, and I feel a little bit clearer in my head, because I'm not constantly craving a vape and I'm not constantly turning to it. And do you know what? I feel really good about myself, the fact that I knew this was going to be hard, and I knew I was going to have to work hard to do this and push myself. And I feel really good about myself that I've managed to, because there has been times, a lot of the time over these past few years, when I've considered, like, is this it now? Am I going to be vaping for the rest of my life? Like, am I going to actually have the willpower to do this? But the hardest part about it all was actually making the decision that this is what I'm doing now. Like, this is what I'm doing. Because actually doing it is not as hard as the actual thought. Actually thinking about it is, you think it's going to be like the hardest thing in the world, but actually making the decision to do it is the hardest part. So yeah, but I'm 6 days in, feeling really good about it, and this is it now. Like, I'm never going back. Like, this is it. I'm going complete teetotal from vaping for the rest of my life, and I feel really good about saying that. So yeah, hopefully that might have inspired someone to maybe just audit their own life a little bit and think, do you know what, is there something that's negatively probably affecting me that I could cut out my life, and just make the decision, do it, and don't look back. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. So I thought, like I say, I'd share a little bit of what I've been working on recently. So obviously I'm an online coach, and that's kind of my job, but I'm kind of changing my business model a little bit. What I want to do is really scale up and help as many people as possible. At the minute, what I do is I coach one-to-one online, so people have direct access to me. We check in with each other once per week, and it's quite time consuming. I have to tweak everyone's plans. I have to constantly like change things about and give them new training plans, give them new meal plans. So it's quite time consuming, so I can't actually get to that many people because I do everything. I do all my content, I do all my sales phone calls, I do all my coaching, like any business side of it, any sort of like accounts, all that kind of thing. I do absolutely everything. So it's very time consuming. So what I've actually swapped over to doing now, and this is something I've been working on for the past 3 months, is I'm creating a membership site, which I'm so excited. I really believe in it. It was actually meant to launch on February the 3rd, but it's something that I'm really trying to make sure that, I talk about perfection never being a thing, but I'm trying to make it as perfect as I possibly can, because I really believe that if I get this right, I can help so many people for a fraction of the price of what I'm charging now. So I'm really making sure that everything is how I talk about everything that I talk about, like having the balance, making sure to fit it in with your lifestyle, like functional fitness training, resistance training, staying active, getting everything into this membership site where you can have your own algorithms, calculated training plan, your own meal plan, which you can tweak yourself. You'll have a shopping list, you'll be able to go out and eat food and still track everything. Like, it's going to be everything that I try and get across is going to be in this app, and I'm really, really excited to get it up and running. So what have I been doing over the past few months to really make sure that this aligns with my goals? So I spoke about on a previous podcast that I've been listening to books. So the books that I've been listening to are either sort of marketings to really market and get it out there, business books, Grant Cardone 10X, which I'm going to come on to that in a minute, and then other books sort of like on health and fitness, and like podcasts on like eating, on nutrition. Like, I'm just trying to get everything that I can in, consume as much as I can to really make this app and get it out there and help as many people. Because if I help as many people for a fraction of the price, I'm also going to achieve my own success and my own financial success, which I do want to happen. I've spoke about before, I want to get my big dream goal is to get a big house, and have the freedom of time to be able to kind of do the things that I want, spend time with my children. That is my goal. It's been my goal for years and years and years, and bring up my family and spend as much time with them as possible. And if I get this app right, I really do believe that I can get there, which is why I've been talking about, the things that I've been talking about over the past few weeks, whether to give up alcohol, to cut as much. I spoke about the 6 month thing, like do all these things in the next 6 months, and the reason that I've been talking about all of them is because I've been trying to reinforce that in my own head. If I really put the effort in these next 6 months, I really believe that I can take this to where I want to take it, and it can help so many people. My goal with the app is to get people who aren't confident training, who don't know what they're doing, who need help, to get them from going from the real basics of bodyweight movements at home, then start introducing some equipment at home and take them into the gym for the first time, beat gym anxiety and get them and just make it part of the lifestyle, and show them how to have balance, show them how to do everything right with the food, and like what to eat, how to eat, like what protein does, what carbs does. If I can get everything into this app, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So I'm really, really excited. And one of the things that I really want to share with the podcast, because this, and I've spoke about it a little bit before, but I've actually, the only time I've really achieved really what I wanted, and I've spoke about it in the past, about when I wrote all my goals down, did a vision board and set it as the screensaver on my phone, and I've actually just done it again. So basically my goal, and Grant Cardone, the 10X rule, and I highly recommend you read it if you've never, or listen to it if you've never listened to it, says you've got to 10X your goals, because if it doesn't scare you, you're not actually going to put the 10X, the effort in, what it takes to actually achieve it. So originally I was like, right, if I get 100 members on this app, like in the first 6 months, I'll be happy. I've actually 10X'd that, I've put 1,000. So what I've actually done to really make sure that I keep reminding myself every single day what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I've actually just put a big 1,000 on the screensaver of my phone, and I've put a picture of a lion to remind myself that I'm fearless, that if I want something I can go after it and get it. So every time I look at my phone now, I'm reinforcing the fact that, and I'm reminding myself what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, why I'm putting these long days in, these long shifts, and that I'm going to do it. And belief is key. If you believe yourself, and I'm excited to share that journey as well now that I've kind of shared that over the next few months. Hopefully it's going to be ready in the next couple of weeks. Like I say, I've got a lot of stuff still to do, but I'm really excited to get it up and running. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully I've not just waffled on and you can take a lot from it. Like I say, the addiction thing is massive. I'm trying to limit anything that's not positively affecting my life at the minute, and vaping definitely was not one of them. Playing Xbox an hour, 2 hours every single day was not one of them. What is what my goals are, and I'm just trying to do everything in my power to achieve them. So I'm really, really excited, and having a big goal and big dream gives you that excitement, it gives you that fire in your belly, and I'm definitely feeling that at the minute. I'm feeling ready to conquer the world. So all that being said, good morning, good afternoon, good night.